So, dito tayo sa Minterms and Maxterms. So, Minterms is also called standard product. It means the literal is ANDed. So, when we say sa logic circuit, so when we say ANDing, it's actually a multiplication operation. So, with other literals, yung mga letters, halimbawa ito, X, Y, Z. So, we call it as literals, yung mga letters na yun. So, when you say X, Y, Z, so that means you have 3 literals. So, otherwise, max terms is also called ORing. So, when you say ORing, so in logic circuit, so when you say OR, that is actually addition operation. So, example, so you have X plus Y plus Z. Okay? So in comparison, so XYZ, so when you say XYZ, it's actually X times Y times Z. Parang sa algebra, di ba? So when you say AB, so it's actually A times B. So likewise here, so when you say XYZ, it's actually X times Y times Z. And when you say XYZ, it's actually ANDing of literals. Okay? Whereas when you say X plus Y plus Z, so you have here X plus Y plus Z, it's called ORing or operation. Okay? So we're adding the literal. So yung mga X, Y, Z na yan, so it's actually inputs. Inputs yan ng circuit. So when you say X, Y, Z, so that means you have 3 inputs. Okay? So we shall have more of that. Please refer to table 2.1 for minterms and maxterms designations. Pagpasensyahan yung boses ko, medyo inuubo pa ako eh. Okay, table 2.1 terms and designations for minterms and maxterms. Again, in comparison with input, so vis-a-vis input, so we have inputs. So we have XYZ here. So you have 3 inputs, XYZ. So if you have 3 inputs, so you shall have 2 to the n possible combinations. So 2, when you say 2 raised to n, so 2 raised to n, asan ka na ba? Okay. So 2 raised to n, so we're in n is the possible number of combinations. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so when you say 2 to the n, so example here, okay, number of possible combinations. Where n is the number of inputs. Okay. So example here, so you have XYZ. So we have XYZ. So that means we have ilan? 2 to the 3. Ano bang sagot? What would be the answer? 2 to the 3 is? Class, 2 to the 3 is? 2 to the 3 is 8. Ayan. So we should have 8 possible combinations. So what are those? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 possible combinations. So if you have 3 inputs, so you shall have 8 possible combinations. So starting from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 100, 101, 110, 111. So if you notice, so we are following binary, binary, ito, base 2. Okay. So these are actually binary sequence. Yeah. So kung mapansin nyo rin, trivia lang din to. So the Z here is the least significant bit. So it follows 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Have you noticed? 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. We're in pag next. Okay, so yung repetitions ng 0, so it follows now 2 to the 1 or 2. So twice ulitin yung 0, twice ulitin yung 1, twice ulitin yung 0, twice ulitin yung 1. And on the third column with x, 2 to the n, so we're now on the third bit, 2 to the 3. So 0, 1, 2, 2 to the 2, 4. So that means apat na beses na you have to repeat 0 4 times, then you have to repeat 1 4 times, then followed by 4 zeros here, then 4 ones again. Okay. So kung may isa pa dito, W, so 2 to the 4, 8 times. So you have to repeat 0 8 times here kasi 2 to the 3 na, then followed by 8 ones. Okay. Can you follow, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you follow? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we start with Minterms. So when we say Minterms, anding. Okay, anding. And then if the input is 0, so it is represented by prime. Okay, halimbawa dito, x is 0, so it means x prime. Y is 0, so you have y prime. And then z is 0, you have z prime. Okay, so take note, so mean term is anding, so that's why it is x prime times y prime times z prime. So kung wala nakalagay na pwedeng may dot, pwedeng wala. Kung walang dot, it means that is anding pa rin yun, multiplication. Kung walang dot, having dots or having none, it's the same. So it means you have to multiply the literals. Again, when say literals, so it just simply means the letters here. Okay? So, since ang input natin is 0, 0, 0, so it means x prime times y prime times z prime. How about here? 0, 0, 1. Okay? So, x is 0, so it is represented by x prime. Y is 0, represented by y prime, and z is 1, so it is represented by z. So for min term, if the input is 1, the literal is unprimed. Again, if the input is 0, so you have prime here. If it is 1, so unprimed. So that's why it's just simply equal to z, because z is 1. Okay. How about next input? 0, 1, 0. Okay. X is 0, so that's why it is x prime. Y is 1, so simply y. Z is 0, so you have z prime. Okay. Next, we have 0, 1, 1. So for 0, 1, 1, x is 0, so x prime. Y is 1, y. Z is 1 is z. For 100, so x is 1, y is 0, y prime, and z is 0, z prime. Then we have 1, 0, 1, x is 1, y is 0, so y prime, and z is 1, z. And next we have 1, 1, 0, x is 1, y is 1, z is 0, so we have z prime. And last we have 1, 1, 1, so x is 1, y is 1, z is 1. Okay. So designation, so these are the min-term numbers, 0 to 7. So we start with 0. Okay. So when you say min-term 0, so it means that x is 0, y is 0, z is 0. So yun lang. If min-term 1, so that means that x is 0, y is 0, z is 1. Min-term 2, x is 0, y is 1, z is 0. Min-term 3, 0, 1, 1, up to min-term 7. So when say min-term 7, that means that x is 1, y is 1, z is 1, or simply is x, y, z. Okay? Clear? Question about min-terms? Class? Question about min-terms?
Wala po.
Okay.
None, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let's proceed with Maxterms. So Maxterms is ORing or plus. Okay. Maxterms is opposite of min-terms. So here, if x is 0, so it becomes unprimed. Okay. Whereas if input is 1, it becomes prime. Okay? So again, if input is 0, so it becomes unprimed. while if the input is 1, it becomes prime. So baliktad. But instead of having multiplication, we have addition or ORing as your operator. Okay, operator natin. Such that if you have input of 0, 0, 0, x is 0, y is 0, z is 0. So you have x is 0, so simply x for max terms. Y is 0, y, and z is 0, so simply z. But you have, but the operator between literals or between letters is plus. Okay, plus yan. So that is for max term. So therefore, if you have an inputs of 0, 0, 0 for x, y, z respectively, so we shall have x plus y plus z. For 0, 0, 1, okay, x is 0, so x, y is 0, so y, and z is 1, so we have z prime, okay, for max terms. So there, the operator is plus or. Therefore, for 0, 0, 1, so for max terms, that is x plus y plus z prime, okay. For 0, 1, 0, okay, next input, so we have 0, 1, 0. X is 0, x, y is 1, y prime, and z is 0, so z. So x plus y prime plus z. For 0, 1, 1, so we have x is 0, x, y is 1, so y prime, z is 1, so z prime. So therefore, for 0, 1, 1, you have x plus y prime plus z prime. For 100, x is 1, so x prime, y is 0 is y, z is 0, so z. So we have, for 100, we have x prime plus y plus z. For 101, okay, so we have x is 1, so x prime, y is 0 is y, z is 1, so z prime. So therefore, for 101, so we have x prime plus y plus z prime. For 110, we have x is 1, x prime, y is 1, y prime, and z is 0 is z. So we have for 110, x prime plus y prime plus z. And lastly, we have 111, so x is 1, x prime, y is 1, and y prime, z is 1, z prime. So x prime plus y prime plus z prime. For designations, the same. So you have max term 0 to 7. So when you say max term 0, it only means x plus y plus z. Max term 1 is x plus y plus z prime. Max term 2 is x plus y prime plus z. Okay, and so on up until max term 7. So when you say max term 7, x prime plus y prime plus z prime. Okay, question. Question about this. Minterms and max terms.
None.
Okay, clear? Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, it's all mentioned here, what I've explained earlier. Okay, so if you have 3 inputs, so we shall have 8 possible combinations. So it follows 2 to the n. Okay, small m means minterms, big M max terms. Okay, so if you have this is for minterms, x is 0, y 0, z 0. So we shall have x prime, y prime, z prime. So what is prime? If it is prime, so it is 0. For 1, unprime. Whereas for max terms, so again, so for 0, that is unprime, whereas 1 is that is prime. Okay, so it's opposite. So the operator for minterms is ANDing or multiplication, whereas for max terms we have ORing or addition. Okay. Why does it matter? Okay. Why does it matter whether it is AND or OR? Do you have any idea, class? Any idea? Any idea what does the AND and OR means? Class? Any idea why? Why does it matter, the OR and the AND? Class? Hello? Wala. Terminated na ba ako? Class? Are still there?
No idea, ma'am.
No idea. Please answer from time to time so that I'll know that you're still there. So you have no idea. Okay. That is expected, but this equation actually can be translated to a circuit. Okay, so later on, perhaps tomorrow or next week. So those equations, the Boolean equations, okay, can be represented by this gate. So when we say AND gate or multiplication, we actually have a
Hello, ma'am.
IC that is equivalent to AND gate, and we call
Yes,
it
ma'am.
7408. Okay, so we have those ICs. Okay, so you have 7408 AND gate here, and then we have, okay, so but then you cannot buy IC yet. You're not allowed to go out. You're not yet 21, are you? How old are you? 19?
93.
19? You're still 19? You're not allowed to go out yet? Okay. So these are the 7408. Okay. So we have here. Okay. Okay. So it has 14 pins. Okay. So as you can see, it has 4 gates. Okay, 4 gates. Okay, 2 inputs, 4 gates. So it's like x times y. Okay, x times y. The output, let's say, is A. Okay. Okay, so you have another gate here. Okay, so in pin 7, so you connect it to the ground, VCC that is connected to the positive supply. So just like you did in electronics 1, so we use battery. You have your batteries. You still have your batteries? Did you use batteries in your LX1? No? You use power supply. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So let's say for OR gate, so let's have a OR gate. Okay. OR gate is plus, so it's equivalent to A plus B. So we have here 0 plus 0. Okay, so A plus B. So you have 2 inputs. Okay. Let's say yung inputs dito is X and Y. X plus Y. So when you say OR gate, that is 7432. You can buy this in Dico. If you're near Dico, electronic shop. Or in Raon. Okay. And then we have more gates here. Okay. Tomorrow or next week. We'll see if if we were able to, if we're going to finish this one. So we'll have a class tomorrow morning. Okay. Okay, so going back here, so why does this ANDing and ORing matters? Because this can be translated to a circuit. So you have a equivalent circuit here. So when you say X plus Y, so that is actually equivalent to an OR gate, 2-input OR gate. Okay. So when you say X times Y, like this one, X times Y times Z. So you may use two AND gates. Okay. Okay, so moving on. So we have truth table. Okay, so we have truth table, design logic circuit. Okay, so when you say truth table, so you need to design a logic circuits. Okay, so these are the conditions. So supposedly you have a 3 inputs, X, Y, Z. Okay. And in this example, so you have 2 outputs, A and B. Okay. So in each output, you need to have one circuit per output. So since the example here, we have two outputs, A and B, so that means we must have two circuits also for this. Okay. So, okay. So for output A, let's start with output A. Okay. 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 Output A. So it was not discussed. Okay. Okay. So let's answer this one. Okay. Let's have okay for A. Okay. So let's use Minterms for A. Let's use Minterms. Anyway, whether you use Minterms or Maxterms is a matter of personal choice. Okay, but since outputs of 1, so by the way, Minterms correspond to output of 1. Okay. How would that be? How would that be? Okay. So we will take note of inputs, okay, with output of 1. So that is for Minterms. Okay. So let's say here, okay, output of 1 Minterms. So we have an input of 0, 1, 0. So again, for Minterms, if x is 0, so it is translated to, okay, a is equal to first term, okay, first output of 1 for a, okay, 0, 1, 0, or Minterm 2, 0, 1, 0. So what does it mean? 0, 1, 0, so it means x prime, y, z prime, okay, plus, okay, plus, next, 0, 1, 1, okay, we have next output of 1. The inputs are x is 0, y is 1, z is 1. So therefore, we shall write x is 0 is x prime, y is 1, y, z is 1, z. Okay. Then next we have next one, output of 1. We have an inputs of 1, 0, 1. Okay. 1, 0, 1. So we have x is 1, x, y is 0, y prime, z is 1, z. And last we have, okay, x is 1, y is 1, z is 1. So we shall write x is 1, x, y is 1, y, z is 1, z. So it's simply equal to x prime, y, z prime. X prime, y, z prime. X prime, y, z. X, y prime, z. And x, y, z. Okay? Are we done? Okay. So this is now this equation using Minterms. So as you can see, we have here, we call this terms. Okay. So x prime, y, z prime is a term. That's one term. We have this the second term. Okay. Third term, third Minterms, and okay, fourth terms. Okay. But if we're going to count the number of literals, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all in all, we have 12 literals. So 4 terms, 12 literals. Okay? Question, class, question. Can you follow? Do you follow? Can you? Hello? Class? Can you follow? Question? Can you follow?
Wala po.
Okay
Yes.
naman. Okay naman. Okay? Ayan. So with this, okay, so as you can see, you have each term is being what connects the term. So we have plus. Okay, so that's why Minterms is also called, okay, what do you call the Minterms? Minterms also called sum of products or SOP. Okay, so it's also called sum of products. Hello? Okay? Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, then what's next? Okay, so from 13 we are now how many? 17. Okay. So from this one, so we can, okay, so we may use Boolean algebra to minimize the number of terms. So, okay, so how are we going to do that? So we have x prime z prime. So we have y plus y prime. Sorry. X prime y. Z prime. Z prime plus z. Okay. What else? Plus xz. Xz y prime. Y prime plus y. Okay, so we have z prime plus z is equal to what? Class. X prime
One
plus
to
z.
ma'am.
Okay, so z prime plus z is 1, same as y prime plus y is 1. So we have, therefore, a is equal to x prime y plus xz. So from 12 literals, we're now down to 4 literals. From 4 terms, we're now down to 2 terms. So, okay, so our equation now for a is simply equal to x prime y plus xz. So how we're going to execute that? Okay, in terms of a circuit. So by the way, when we say prime, okay, when we say prime, it's actually equivalent to negation. So when we say negation, that is equivalent to inverter. Okay, so we also have an inverter gate. Okay, we also have an inverter gate, and that is 7404. Okay, so that means that x prime y, okay, that is, what operation is that? X prime y. The same as x times z. So how are we going to execute that? X prime y and as well as x times z. So what gate are we going to use to execute x prime y and x times z? So we will use, that is multiplication, so ANDing, and that is 74. What number is the ANDing? 7408. Am I correct? Okay, so AND gate is 7408. Okay. Okay, going back. Okay. Okay, 7408. And okay, so therefore it means that x prime y, so you're going to use inverter and AND here For XZ, so we will use AND. Okay. And then, to connect them together, to connect the terms together, you have plus here. So, for plus, that is OR. That is 7 4 32. Okay. So, that's why. Okay. Okay. Question? 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 None? Okay.
Wala po.
Okay. So, standard or canonical forms. So, canonical forms are Boolean functions expressed as sum of minterms or product of maxterms. So, for maxterms, you call it product of maxterms or POS. Whereas for minterms, it's called sum of products or SOP. Okay. So, canonical forms. Okay. So, example for output B, sum of minterms is 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So again, when you say minterms, so it corresponds to output of, saan ba nagko-correspond yung minterms? Output of class. When you say minterms, it corresponds to output of 0 or 1.
1 po, ma'am.
Okay, so it corresponds to an output of 1. Okay, so it says here that B is equal to function of XYZ. So you have inputs to, di ba? Function of XYZ is equal to summation. Okay. So when we say summation, so for minterms, we use summation of 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's see. So when you say 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that means that minterm numbers, these are the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 are actually minterm numbers. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, that means minterms corresponds to an output of 1. So therefore, minterms 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 has an output of 1. Let's see. Let's check the truth table. So 2 has an output of 1 for B. 4, okay, 5, 6, 7. So another way to express the equation, so it's B, for B, minterms for B is equal to summation of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? While if we're going to express it in terms of maxterms, okay? So when we say maxterms correspond to an output of 0. Okay? So, a function of xyz is equal to pi. So, you use pi. 0, 1, 3. So, that means that maxterm 0, 1, 3 has an output of 0. So, let's check. Okay. 0. Maxterm 0 is 0. 1 is 0. And maxterms 3 is 0. Okay. So, we have minterm maxterms number here. Again, pi of 0, 1, 3 for B. Maxterm 0 has an output of 0. Maxterms 1 has an output of 0. And maxterms 3 has an output of 0. Okay. So as you can see, the numbers here, the numbers for minterms is complementary with the numbers on maxterms. Okay? So, yan. Hindi pwedeng sabay. Hindi pwedeng sabay na 0 and 1 ng output ng isang inputs. Okay? Isa-isa lang. So, the output should either be either 0 or 1. Okay? So, if it already appears in minterms, so, it should not appear in maxterms. So, complementary sila. Okay? So, ang wala dito, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, wala si 0, 1, 3. Of course, because 0, 1, 3 has an output of 0. Whereas, summation means minterms has an output of 1. Questions so far? I know medyo nakakalito tong part na to. Question? Question?
Ma'am, saan po galing yung pi?
Pi. Pi. When you say pi, that's a symbol used to express max terms. Okay. So,
Okay po.
okay. So when you say summation, that is min terms. When you say pi, that is max terms. Okay. So function of xyz is pi 0, 1, 3. So that means that max term 0, 1, 3 has an output of 0. So when you say summation, that means that followed by the minterm numbers. So itong mga minterm numbers na to has an output of 1. Okay? Question? Medyo nakakalito nga ito. Okay. So, standard forms. Okay. So, these are the standard forms. So, in terms of minterms, these are the standard forms. Okay. So, you multiply first, then you add. So, that is for minterms. For max terms, so you add then you multiply. Okay. So, these are the terms for max terms. So, as you can see, A plus B plus C. So, meaning we add the literals. Okay. So, that is the terms. This is first term, second term, and third term. So, we have 3 terms. Okay. That is for 0, 1, 3. Okay. Ito pa rin yun. So, it is related here. 0, 1, 3. Okay. So, let's see what are, ano ba inputs ni 0, 1, 3? 0, 1, 3 has an input of 0, 0, 0. So, in terms of max terms, these are actually x plus y plus z. So, for output, again, for max term 1, 0, 0, 1, x is 0, x plus y plus z prime. And for max term 3, 0, 1, 3, okay, another output of 0. So we have x plus y prime plus z prime. So let's check. Okay. Bakit naging a to? Dapat x, no? Okay. Palitan natin. So x plus y plus z. Tama ba? Y plus z prime and x plus y prime plus z prime. Tama ba, class? Okay. X plus y prime plus z prime. X plus y plus z prime. X plus y plus z. X plus y plus z prime. X. Okay. 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 So this is actually max term 0. Again, max term 1 and max term 3. Okay. It's actually this one. It's the same here. Yeah. So that means, okay, whether you state it, this is a canonical form, this is the standard form. Okay. That is for max terms, output B. For min terms, output B. So we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we shall have what is 2? What is 2? Okay. Ayan. 2 is 0, 1, 0. So x prime y, z prime. For 4, we have x, y prime, z prime. For 5, we have x, y prime, z. For 6, we have x, y, z prime. And 7 is x, y, z. Okay. So let's check. Okay. Okay. This is supposed to be minterm 2, minterm 4, okay, minterm 4, minterm 5, okay, then minterm 6, and minterm 7, okay. So this is canonical form, and this is standard form for minterms. Question? Question? Question?
None po, ma'am.
Gising pa ba kayo dyan? Baka tulog na tong mga to, ah. Doris, musta?
Po. Okay
Rafael.
lang po.
Rafael. Tulog na to. Limuel. Rafael. Napagod. Aprilia. Amina. Jade. Ay, naku.
Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
Sino yun? Si Jade? Amina? Si Limuel at si Rafael. Tulog pa? Tulog na? Marian? Ian?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Ma'am, gising pa, ma'am.
Justin.
Gising pa po.
Si J. Lord.
Gising pa, ma'am.
Si iba pa. 17 to eh. Falogme. Pesado.
Yes, ma'am.
Kedis.
Buhay
Ma'am,
pa,
si
ma'am.
William daw, ma'am.
Aprilia. Ha?
Si Abrilia daw, ma'am. Walang mic.
Walang mic. Si Rafael, wala ring mic. Si Rusty.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Bagong gising, good morning pa eh.
Ma'am, may
Okay.
tanong ako.
Kasi question na kasi this part talaga is confusing, no? Kahit sa face to face. Question.
Ma'am, sa ma'am, midterm ma'am, yung zero yung may prime. Tapos sa max
Ah.
yung may prime.
Sa minterms, okay, if input x is 0, sa input yun x prime. Okay? Sa max terms naman, yung may prime yung 1. Input of 1.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Bawa, baliktad na, nakakalito din talaga yan eh. Okay? Literals, okay. So, number of letters. Ayan. Ito yung letters, no? Diba ito, we have this one, 12 literals. Literals, number of letters. Okay? That's why we're doing Boolean equations. So, we can trim down the number of literals. Okay? So, now, less literals, less circuitry. Less wiring. Yan. Less error, syempre. Okay? Parang less talk, less mistakes. AB plus B prime C. Saan ang galing yun? Ito yun. For the okay, example. For literals. Okay. Yeah. Write the canonical form for output A. Okay. So, output A. Consider minterms. Okay. So, dito pala diniscuss yung truth table. Consider minterms. Okay. So, output A. So, when we say minterms, it corresponds to output of class minterms. Ano sabi? Minterms, output of 1. So, base here. So, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 5, and 7. 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay? So, you have a summation of 2, 3, 5, 7. But how are we going to express it in standard form? So, what is output 2? So, 2, 0, 1, 0. So, x prime y, z. Z prime. X prime, y, z prime. So, we have x prime, y, z prime. Next one, 0, 1, 1. So, x prime, y, z. So, x prime, y, z. Next, 1, 0, 1. X, y prime, and z. And we have x, y, z. Okay? X, y, z. Okay? So, this is the standard form. Unreduced standard form. And this is the canonical form. So, meaning there are two ways to express the equation for logic. So, we have the standard and canonical form. Okay? Question? Okay? Question, Doris?
Wala po.
So, we have, okay? So, that means you can also reconstruct the truth table given the canonical form or the standard form. Okay? So, when you say A is summation of 2, 3, 5, 7, so that means that for minterms 2, 3, 5, 7, those are the inputs with output of 1. The rest are zeros. Okay. How about if we're going to consider max terms for A? Okay. So max terms for A, we have, so we say max terms output of 0. So we have 0 here. Okay. Max term 0. For max term 1, ano pa? Max term 4 and max term 6. Okay. So we have how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 0, 1, 4, and 6. So 0, 1, 4, and 6. So what is that? 0? A is equal to pi 0, 1, 4, 6. So we say pi. So these numbers have output of 0. Okay. So pi means max terms. Okay. So again, so we have output of 0, x is 0, y 0, z 0. So that is x plus y plus z times another term, x is 0, y 0, z is 1. So x plus y plus z prime. And then another 0, 100. So we have x prime plus y plus z. And then last 0, we have 110. So x plus y prime plus z. Okay. So this is a standard form and reduced standard form. Okay, whereas this is the canonical forms. Okay, pi is 0, 1, 4, 6. Okay, so this is what we did earlier. Determine the Boolean equation for output A using minterms. Okay, so we have done this earlier. Okay, so this is what we do. So we have from 12 literals. Okay, so we do the simplification, then we apply theorem number 6. Okay, and therefore we have reduced it to xy prime plus xz. Am I right? No, I don't think this is right. Because what's the answer earlier? X prime y plus xz. X prime y plus xz. This is correct. Okay. X prime y. Okay. X prime y plus xz. Standard form. Okay, so I don't think we can. Okay. X prime y plus xz is the standard form. So if in case that you still have to factor out the x here, okay, so it becomes unstandard. But then nevertheless, so this is the reduced standard form. So x prime y plus xz. So this is the standard form for minterms. So you multiply it first, then you add. Okay. Question class for A.
Wala na
None?
po.
None? Question? La? Hello?
Wala na po,
Wala,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Wala na
Okay
po.
lang? Wala pa? Walang question? Okay naman? Okay. Then next we have consider minterms for B. So for B we have summation of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it means x prime y z prime xy prime z prime plus xy prime z plus xyz prime plus xyz. Have this okay. So how we're going to minimize this using Boolean equation. So this will be your assignment, example 2.3. Okay, x prime y z prime. Okay, so you reduce this using Boolean algebra. Okay. How about this one? Consider Maxterms for B. Okay, so for B we have 0, 1, 3. Maxterms is correspond to output of 0. Okay, output of 0. Okay, so we have this is Maxterm 0, Maxterm 1, Maxterm 3. Okay. So simply put, so we have 0, 0, 0, so x plus y plus z. For 0, 0, 1, x plus y plus z prime and x plus y prime plus z prime. Okay, so you have unreduced standard form. Okay, so we have 9 literals. Okay. So we're going to simplify this. Okay, so we have this one. Okay. So we do the first two terms first. Okay. First two terms. Okay. So we distribute the x first to the second term such that we have xx, xy, xz prime. Then distribute the y to the second term. We have xy, yy, and yz prime. Z is xz, yz, and zz prime. Okay. Okay. So then we have simplify applying various theorems such that x is x, x times x prime is 0. So this is x is x. What else? Y is y. ZZ prime is 0. So eliminated na to. So we have x plus x, x is x. Then just copy xy, xz prime, xy. Nawala si xy. Xy. Okay, so we have 2xy is just simply equal to xy. So if you have two similar terms, so isa lang. Okay, so you have 2xy, so xy na. So it's like a plus a is a, so xy plus xy is xy. Okay, yy is y. Okay, yz prime, then xz, yz, then zz prime is 0. Okay, what else? Okay, ito pa. Okay, so niregroup to, so we shall have this base. Okay, so x plus xy. Okay, then here, okay, xz prime and xz. Okay, then you factor out the x, and then you have copied the y, and then for yz, it's actually yz prime and yz here, and then you factor out the y. Okay, so x plus xy is x. Okay, nandun yun sa variable theorem. X plus xy is x. Z prime plus z is 1 times x, so we have another x here. Then copy y, and then z prime plus z is 1 times y is y. So x plus x is x plus y is y. Okay. So, okay. So the answer, tentative answer is x plus y times x plus y prime plus z prime. Okay. So, but that's not the end yet. Okay. So we shall distribute the x plus y, the term x plus y with the term x plus y prime plus z prime. So moving on. Okay. So we distribute the x first. So xx plus xy prime plus xz prime. Then distribute the y. xy plus yy prime plus yz prime. Okay. So x is x, then copy xy prime. Then we have copy xz prime xy, then yy prime is 0, yz prime. Okay, so we have this one. Then regroup. Okay, let's regroup. Okay. Okay, we have x plus xz prime plus, okay, xy prime plus xy, then factor out the x, then plus yz prime. Okay. Okay, so we group the x and xz. Then another group xy prime and xy, then copy yz. Okay. So we group the x plus xz prime plus xy prime plus xy, then factor out the x, then plus yz prime. So again, so we have x plus xz prime is x. Then we have y prime plus y is 1 times x. So we have another x plus yz prime. So x plus x is x. Okay, x plus x is x plus yz prime. So we now only have 3 literals. So from, ilang literals yan kanina? From 9. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from 9 literals down to just 3 literals. So that's why it is important to reduce, simplify your equation using Boolean algebra. Okay. Assignment here, another assignment for letter A. Determine the Boolean equation. Okay, so determine the Boolean equation using Minterms and Maxterms. So dalawa. Okay, that's for A. Ilan assignment nyo? Dalawa na, no? The activity 2.2A here and example 2.3 kanina. Okay, so kaya pa? Kaya pa, class? Or shall we continue tomorrow? That's it for now? Kaya pa ba?
Kaya, ma'am.
Really?
Tomorrow.
Okay, that's it for now. So this will be your assignment to be submitted tomorrow. This one, and I have an example earlier. This one too. Okay. So this is Minterm. Minterm to, di ba? Ang sinolve natin kanina, Maxterm. So this is Maxterm. So you have to solve the Boolean equation for B using Minterms. And then this one, okay, given the truth table below, determine the Boolean equation. Okay.